dozen of it. His whole campaign is he says he's going to do no tax pledge, but then he says he's going to raise taxes on the worker to pay back unemployment compensation. He simply doesn't understand what we need to do. If you look at what I've done and what my proposals are, I'm running the second largest county in Pennsylvania for 7 years. We reformed government. Our payroll is smaller today than it was 7 years ago. We've held the line on property taxes 9 years in a row and cut them twice. And we work with the private sector for jobs. We've created jobs even in this recession, where now Allegheny County has one of the lowest unemployment rates. It's lower than the state, and it's lower than the federal government. I'm prepared to go to Harrisburg and focus on jobs and put Pennsylvanians back to work. We're going to reform Harrisburg. We're going to create an environment for the private sector to bring jobs back to Pennsylvania. That means a competitive tax structure. That means regulatory agencies that actually understand they got to be a little more business friendly and responding on time to bring jobs here. And it means training our people for the jobs of today and tomorrow. For tech schools, community colleges, universities. And there's also big differences in education. My opponent just wants to cut it. This is the worst time to cut education. Not only should we be funding basic education so that they don't pressure your school districts to raise taxes, we need to get more money and expand early childhood. Get our kids in the system as early as possible. So sooner or later, we're going to figure this out and it pays for itself. Doesn't it make sense to invest on the front end, pre-kindergarten, as opposed to building jails when they're 16, 17, and 18? And I want you to know something. I heard you loud and clear, and I hear all 67 counties. Tom and I couldn't be more different on one of the biggest issues of our day: Marcellus Shale and natural gas drilling. I want to tell you where the difference is. As your governor, we are going to have a competitive severance tax, and here's what we're going to do with the money. We're going to replace all the cuts that were made to the Department of Environmental Protection. We're about to drill in every county in Pennsylvania, and we just gutted the Department of Environmental Protection. The competitive severance tax will make sure that we have inspectors to watch the water, to watch the environment, and to preserve farmland. We're also going to make sure we have money set aside for roads, water lines, and sewer lines from the wear and tear from that industry. And they're going to help pay for it. And finally, we're going to have money for farmland preservation, open space preservation, and cleaning up brownfields. My opponent, well, guess where he is? No severance tax, because he has now taken over $900,000 from the gas companies. I'm running to represent 12 million people in Pennsylvania, and we can do Marcellus Shale in an environmentally responsible way. My opponent has such an extreme position that every single state that has gas and oil, 21 of them, every Republican governor, every Democratic governor, they all have a severance tax. You know why? There's real issues, and you got to mitigate those problems with the severance tax. But there's one other issue I want to share with you. Penn State just completed a study. 80,000 new jobs from Marcellus Shale in the next 18 months. 80,000. Well, when I'm your governor, before we give one permit, they're going to understand they're hiring Pennsylvanians. Not Oklahoma, not Texas, our people are getting those jobs. That gas sits under our land. We're going to have to deal with the issues of taking them out. If we have a competitive severance tax and we get 80,000 jobs and we do this in an environmentally smart way, now it becomes a win-win situation. My opponent is doing the bidding for the gas companies. He's simply wrong. He's extreme on this, and we're not going to let him get away with this issue. He's wrong on this. And the good companies know they're going to pay it. So I'm here today because we're a team. And I'm excited about helping Congresswoman Dahlkemper. She's got guts. She stands up. She cares about the workers. She cares about her district. And I'm here to help her remind everybody that might have a little amnesia of why we have the problem we have right now. Do we remember? President Obama's been in office 18 months. We got the worst recession since the Great Depression because of Republican policies and President Bush. That's why we're here right now. We're not going to forget about that. I don't want to go back to those 8 years. I want to go forward. Sure, it's rough out there right now. People are worried. They have a right to be worried. Unemployment's still high. But the question is, who has the best ideas for turning this around? Who's going to put working people back to work and have people work on looking at jobs that are coming here to the region? I've done it for 7 years in the second largest county, and that's why we have one of the lowest unemployment rates. I want to work with Congresswoman Dahlkemper because she has the right ideas of how we got to turn this country around and help me turn the state around. And you know that President Clinton is traveling around the state helping and promoting our Democratic congressional delegation and talking about what's happened over the last 8 years versus where we are right now. So here's what I'm going to end. I want to tell you a few things here. 4 years ago, Governor Rendell and Senator Casey won by 20 points. This is a different year. It's a different world right now from 4 years ago. Nobody's winning by 20 points. No. But if Erie helps me wake up on November 3rd and I win by 4 percentage points, guess what? They still call me governor. You don't have to win by 20. You've got to win. You've got to win. It's about winning. And guess what else? They also call Kathy Dahlkemper Congresswoman too when she gets elected. So ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for what you've done. I thank you for what you're about to do. And I want to give you one promise. You help me become governor in the next couple of days, and I will spend every waking moment of my time as governor-elect, starting right away, doing what we have to do to put Pennsylvanians back to work. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.